What up? It's crazy. We get on here, no Michael, and I look at the comment section, it's still drama. Look at this nigga. No, I haven't checked Instagram. Do I think Tommy and D Mac are similar? Uh, I mean, they both crash outs and they kind of do things without thinking. So they got that in a light. I don't know if I'll say they have any other similarities outside of that. So D Mac is what Tommy's gonna be in Origins. I can see that. It makes yeah, and like you said, it makes sense since they are blood. It could be something that like, running the family or some shit. Let me check IG real quick because I definitely ain't looked at it. I know them bum ass Clippers piss me off. Let them bum ass Lakers win. I just saw it, man. Oh no, it's kind of crazy. All right, though. So you really think he gonna replace Braden? All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Claudia's last card. For those of y'all that's in there, look like a couple of y'all got tired of waiting. They making Braden into a joke being demoted like that. Demoted like how? All of them may not get the same screen time, but hopefully they all can stay on the show. I mean, I can definitely see them working it out. Think about this. We lost some key players, key characters up in book two. You lost Monet, who had a significant amount of screen time. Then it's possible maybe you won't see Drew anymore. Possibly. Shit, it's even possible you may not see Kane no more. So I mean, instead of them, you keep Braden, D Mac, add Tommy. Tommy takes Monet place. D Mac takes Kane place. Still works. Or it takes Drew's place, whichever way. Tariq made Braden into a worker instead of a number one. All because Braden made mistakes with his habit. Yeah. Okay, so you're talking about that demotion. Got it. But I thought you was talking about more so the actor Gianni getting demoted. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty late, bro. Folks may have said, "Fuck you, I'm going to sleep." It's pretty goddamn late. Like it's only 11 here, but East Coast is 1 o'clock. I mean, it's 2 o'clock there. Some of them may catch it later on, or you watch it later on. But yeah, anyways, though, let me go ahead and get back to it. Like I said, the top of that hand, Claudia's last card. What what is it that you guys think her last card is? I'm gonna say this. At first, I was thinking potentially her card could be to try and threaten JP, and it may potentially lead up to his death. But now I'm leaning more so towards, as y'all seen in the video, that it's going to be Jannard and King Kilo that deals with JP. So that kind of eliminates Claudia from doing that. So what else could she be holding you know, in her hand that could potentially bag Tommy off? What's up, Flossie? Yeah, Claudia trying to inform me. Okay, I can see that. I can see that for sure. But with her turning informant, how shit, excuse me, how would that help her? Like, in this situation with Tommy. I mean, she could give up some stuff that she knows, but I don't think she knows anything significant that can affect him as of now. Yeah, she absolutely is gonna request immunity. Maybe turn the informant in order to get out of prison, perhaps. Two snitches in the Flynn family. Walter would be disappointed. What's up? Um, Tarani. Or I don't know if you. I don't know how you exactly supposed to say that. She got the people in prison paid for now, so she good there. Right, but Tommy is still causing chaos to Elise because you can tell by in the trailer she looks terrified, and she's saying Tommy's a fucking psychopath. So okay, I got you, Tyrani. So it's her saying that Tommy's a psychopath. She must be, he must be doing something crazy as fuck there. Also, we got the synopsis for episode 5 now. No Label to Label posted it. And it seems like, obviously, says something about Tommy is going to be trying to fix some things. And it seems like the CBI is going to be. Let me go ahead and try to go back and look at that. Hold on. 'Cause, well, I'm gonna say that. Let me say that because that's more so for the next topic. I'm surprised that the two usual suspects aren't here tonight in the chat. All right, let's not get them started though. Because they could come in here and then they saying, "See, you in here talking about us when we ain't in here." Then they start back, and it'll be your fault. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This one right here, I kind of been going back and forth wondering, like, damn, what the hell is her last card now? Now that it seems like her going after JP is not gonna be it. Maybe make a call to some of her Irish Italian friends, or perhaps I don't know. I don't know if she do or not, bro, honestly, but I would guess that she does. Because, I mean, think about how her daddy, was able to bring in the booty ass Four Horsemen. So I would guess could be a race to JP and CBI get to him first. You're right. It could be that. Maybe they both after him and they end up getting to him first. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna touch on it more on the next subject. What up, Kenny? I think that I think that JP is gonna survive past next episode. Kind of figured that out a little more so because of what CG sent me earlier and kind of digging a little bit more into it. Certain events that has to happen, it doesn't add up. So yeah, he's gonna make it past episode 4, probably 5 too, unfortunately. So that means I would be wrong about him not making it past the first 5 episodes. However, what I do think absolutely is happening is I'm not giving up on Marshall not making it past episode 5. That shit happened. It's unlikely, but if Gary Lennon trolls the fuck out of and JP survived the entire show. Ugh. I actually thought about that, but what made me think there's no way that, he was actually trolling and JP's gonna survive is because it's one part of the trailer that I'm like, it wouldn't make sense unless somebody really close to them died. Because think about it, she says, you know, she says, make them suffer. So in order to make them suffer, she know what in order for her to be wanting Tommy to make sure someone suffers, it has to be that somebody close to her has died and she wants them to pay for it. And who else could it be? If it ain't JP, it has to be D-Mac because clearly it ain't Tommy. Tommy is who she's talking to. Let's still support that boy Michael was spamming, apologized about YouTube page. Cooking your ass. He was spamming tagging me earlier too. Nigga doesn't take no for that. Exactly. King Kilo might smoke JP. Nah, I think like bro, I think what we were seeing on the clip is the proof. King Kilo ain't gonna do it. He gonna have JP. He gonna have Jannar do it. He's just gonna be there and have Tommy on the phone. Excuse me, listening. Because what they're gonna do is they're gonna run Shanti's plan. Keep in mind, they're gonna see that's what made me think it gotta be lunch tomorrow too, though. Because keep in mind, let's look at the description for episode 4. Hold on. That's for 3 though. I didn't mean to put up 3. Dang, I'm fucking up. Yeah, I ain't been out here that long. Hold up though. Yeah, I started that shit late as hell. So hold up. This is right. Quick. All right, shit took me a little minute, but hey, had to grab this from goddamn Google. So there we have it. So the title of it, obviously, Time to See the King. Tommy finds a way to protect D-Mac while Janard tries to appease Shanti. This episode focuses on the fallout from recent events as Che confronts Tommy and Diamond about their recent actions, forcing them to clean up the mess. There we go. You say you think Tariq will take out a major character? I, I don't know. You right. Hey, it might be the death of JP that be the turning point. But what I guess what he want revenge so bad that he called him. That's kind of emotional though. That you know for him to do that. But Tommy is kind of emotional. But anyways, though, what I was saying is, Shanti, right? Shanti, her plan was to get King Ugly as Hell, aka King Kilo, to go after, Tommy, right? That was her plan initially. And she could they could end up launching that, but but of course, Janard is not gonna want to kill Diamond. So I think that's where the part where it's saying he's gonna be trying to appease Shanti. So he's gonna do another thing, something else to, make her happy. But yeah, I think Kilo does get out this episode. And he's gonna approach Janard like, why isn't that nigga D Mac dead? And then Tommy gonna run the play saying, Janard gonna run the play like, yeah, this nigga Tommy, you know, didn't wouldn't let us. He's doing this and that and that or whatever. And then that's when Kilo gonna be like, okay, we're gonna have to deal with Tommy. Right? And then on the flip side, might as well go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Dell predictions now too. Hold on. On the flip side, though, as we know, last episode cut off with Tommy finding out about what D Mac did, low key. Well, at least overhearing that they putting him back in CBI. Like, I'm still sticking with I believe um, Janard and Diamond is gonna try to run game at first about what's going on, not giving him the full story, but he's gonna be able to get it out of them later by probably through DMAC or some sort, and then they're gonna have to launch a plan to try to get rid of him, because Kilo's gonna be on their ass, and that's how we're gonna really see the fallout between Diamond and Tommy, and of course, Janard never had any love for him anyway. Who is real tiny Tommy D Mac or Braden? I mean, shit, Braden looked like him somewhat. That's why he called him that. I honestly, Ali, I don't think Kilo gonna last long at all. That nigga probably gonna be dead. If he not dead next episode, I'm gonna say he making it to episode 6 at the most. That's my opinion. Because I just don't think his storyline is that is gonna be that interesting. He's kind of one of those. I think he's gonna be kind of like Zion. You know what I'm saying? The one of them characters that look like a big bad wolf, but you find out he just a damn fox. He gonna get his ass taken out kind of quick. Because like I said, I think the final boss is gonna be someone else. It could turn out to be Che, which is crazy, but I think I don't know. My gut is telling me Claudia is gonna be the final one. I think she gonna have something in place. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, like I said, I'm backing off JP dying next episode. I just think that it doesn't match the timeline of some of the same things that I've seen. But I'm definitely sticking to who I think is gonna take him out. And possibly why it happened as well. But I just don't think it's gonna be episode 4 anymore. You think Stacy gonna join who team? Che and Noma's brother. Mm. I mean, I would say probably Slim, but it just kind of seemed like Noma and them dealt with, you know, the UK and it kind of seems like no one's going to dealt with the UK more so and Africa. It seems like Che is more so the States and Mexico. But I don't know. So you think she's gonna become? She's gonna. So I'm saying, whose side though? Like, if she's siding with criminals, exactly who? You think she's gonna join forces with Tommy? Because keep in mind, she might end up getting in his pocket. Since Vic is setting up what he's setting up. And here's another question I got. This falls under death predictions too. Remember in the trailer, I'm not sure if it's in the official trailer, but absolutely it was in the teaser trailer. Oh, you think she's gonna be on Claudia? Okay, gotcha. That makes sense actually. But remember the video of Bobby pulling the sheets off of somebody. Who do y'all think that is now? Claudia is not getting smoked soon as she walk out of jail. But the Bobby situation. I know DeMarcus was saying he think it's gonna be. I keep on forgetting the dude. I've been calling his ass Shane Sean, but I forgot his name. The dude who betrayed Stacy and working with the Ortega cartel. He said it was going to be him, but now that we see that he's kind of a traitor, I don't think it's going to be him. So could it end up being Stacy who he pulls the sheets off? That's who I originally thought it was myself. I said Stacy is going to be about here because she's doing it. But since we still on death predictions, I'm gonna go with y'all know I've been on Marshall and no, I don't have nothing against him personally, but I'm just saying I think that nigga up out of here. And I think he's gonna get killed, possibly because Jannard them gonna rat him out or whatever, or I do think CBI is gonna have something to do with it. Can't quite put my finger on it exactly how it's gonna happen, but I think Jannard absolutely is gonna have something to do with it. Because think about this. Now that Tommy is not with CBI anymore. That means, and we already seen video footage that D-Mac is going to be with Tommy. Now maybe Tommy try to ask him to be a double agent. I think that'll be extremely dangerous if he tries to go that route. Like have D-Mac acting like he's cool with them and stuff like that, and then you know try to get information, but I don't think Tommy would risk D-Mac doing something like that. So my thing is D-Mac is going to be on Tommy's side. And we know Marshall is CBI. So Marshall is going to have to pick a side. And that would make sense because remember on a teaser, we heard Jannard say, y'all niggas got to pick a side and pick it right the F now, right? So I think he's telling them the niggas that's following Tommy, you step off, and the niggas that's the niggas that's with us ride with us. And I think we already seen that it seems like Marshall is loyal to D-Mac. So I think Marshall is going to end up getting killed for being loyal. Exactly. He's going to go with D-Mac, and his ass going to get popped because of it. Because Jannard don't take niggas that going on the other side. He don't take that lightly. And like I said, I actually said this a couple episodes ago. Don't be surprised if the person that Diamond is looking at pointing, and he shoots while they on the ground is Marshall. And that fake hits will come back on. Yeah. Because keep in mind, both hits that they did, Jannard knows about it. So he can. And here's another thing: No Label Labels shared something. He said that he thinks that they're going to be that CBI is going to be battling with the 9-7s next episode. Keep in mind who the D-Mac and Marshall them just robbed, the 9-7s. So they could easily, spin it to the 9-7s. Look, it was me who sent y'all that warning. Because I knew and I heard about it, that nigga D-Mac and Marshall, was coming to rob y'all. That's the niggas who did it. And then the 9-7s go and fuck Marshall up. Of course, they're not going to succeed in taking out D-Mac as well, but yeah. Support. I guess that's possible, but I think that's unlikely because that shot that I showed yesterday, and also that was in the video. If you haven't watched my most recent video, make sure you go ahead and check it out. But yeah, I think it doesn't make sense for them to be advertising that out of nowhere, and it's not playing a significant role, um, to the storyline. So I think Jannard is absolutely shooting somebody that's big, and who else could he possibly be shooting probably other than JP? Because I doubt it's D-Mac. I don't think it's Kate. I don't think it's Maria. It's definitely not Tommy. So to me, the only could be between Jannard or possibly Marshall. And keep in mind, King Kilo is there too. It makes sense. King Kilo's right there on the phone while he's shooting whoever it is he's shooting. It's JP, bro. I'm telling you. You got all this Marshall Dine theories, and they all wrong. Marshall would be there when Tariq does down. No, that nigga, he ain't making it. I'm telling you, bro, the mind is up out of here. He gonna make it next episode. I agree. I ain't got no smoke for him this next episode. I don't see it coming. Episode 5, though, his ass up out of here. So we not gonna add Genesis to this list of deaths among D-Max week recklessness. Nope. Not. I'm gonna say this. Not no time soon. No, because we already visibly seen Genesis at the funeral, which I believe to be JP's funeral. Because keep in mind, we seen what looked like to be Kate at a podium, speaking. So why else would Kate be delivering what looks like to be maybe some kind of eulogy or whatever at a church, which is clearly a funeral? It's JP's funeral, and we seen Genesis at the funeral. Now, if you want to talk about Genesis dying, period, sure. Genesis could be the one that, because keep in mind, in the trailer, we also seen, and somebody mentioned this too, we also seen Jannard looking inside of a car, looking at what looked like to be the entrance to the church that they're at. And he's probably gonna, let out some shots when they come out. And he's probably, how they typically go. Normally the innocent ones are the ones that get hit when it comes to those type of things. So Genesis would be the most innocent of all of them. So yeah, she could die that way. But anytime soon, nah. We're good, Hezzy. I really wish Tariq would come earlier to see the reactions of the other characters. Reactions from what exactly? So when Miguel getting dubbed, Jay's back. So I think Miguel. Remember, I predicted Miguel to be out. I originally said like anywhere between 6, 7, 8, but now I'm waiting on the funeral of JP because I think. Remember this? I said this a while back, and I'm gonna stick to this. It just may happen a little later. I got Miguel dying either the same episode of the funeral or the episode right after. Because I told you the dude that looked like Kun Wan, he's gonna take out Miguel. If Tariq come late in the season, if everybody dead, what's the point of bringing him? Well, I think it's going to be such overwhelming power going on against Tommy that he's going to need it. You can see, because I think, I've been saying this, I think Claudia is going to be the biggest threat. And we could see a union between Claudia and CBI. I could definitely see Jannard making a play to, have her with them. That's my opinion. Genesis ain't even really locked in with D-Max, so it's too early for her to even be at the funeral. Well, she there. That's why, I'm gonna say this. That's more so another reason why JP is probably gonna live a little longer than expected. My boy CG was saying that he think he go. Well, there he go right there. Damn, it's crazy. Spoke that nigga into existence. But anyways, he's saying he think it's gonna be episode 8. So it kind of makes sense if JP gets taken out episode 8 because that gives Genesis time to, build a stronger story and, storyline and development with D-Mac, the reason why she's attending the funeral. Tommy bringing Tariq for the Italians, hunting Tommy in episode 10. Yeah, JP's father's not saying in there, but I mean, he probably gonna make it. They might just didn't get him no. They might just didn't show him. But CG, what make you think it's the Italians? Which I think that's a high possibility. I think Claudia is gonna bring that. But what makes you say that? The coalition members that walked away from CBI is who Tommy should team up with. That's true. He should absolutely do that because now he's not on their side. He can spin it. But that's what I'm gonna tell you this. That's absolutely what Kanan and Glass would do. Kanan should do if he was alive. He would capitalize on who is their enemies. Go, go, befriend. Become friends with who his enemies is, and use it to his advantage. That's exactly what he did. It ain't goddamn Herman's funeral. Oh, so we're gonna see what makes you think we're gonna see Delores in episode 5? Did you see that somewhere? Yeah, I can see the reason why, but so you're saying that's the reason why you just predicted it. It's not something that you saying. But yeah, I absolutely said that I think that would. But I'm gonna say this: if they do indeed come back, you know, like for him like that, do you think it's a possibility that maybe Tommy could even die? Because think about it. They bring the Italians back, and let's just say Alicia Marie is involved too. I just think it'll be, the perfect ending for them to have Alicia Marie come back full circle and be the one, even if she don't necessarily pull the trigger, she brings in whoever it is that ultimately takes him out. Yeah, Mink now Delores is coming because Justice Occur confirmed she will be in season 3 last year in May. Yeah, I think I recall saying that. I know Delores is in season 3 as a fact. Justice Occur. Yeah, like I said, I remember saying that. So perhaps when he returned back to New York, they're going to show her? Or do you think we're actually going to see her in Chicago? Speaking of which, I think it's the perfect time. Let's go ahead and head on over to the next topic, which is the crossovers. God damn, what the hell happened to my other But yeah, so the crossovers. Now we're basically talking about, because we know, I think it's almost safe to say that characters are gonna show up, you know, it's gonna be new characters show up from book two that's gonna show up in Force. So we just mentioned one of them that we believe to be, which is Delaris. And I think if Auntie Delaris is gonna show up, it's probably safe to say we're gonna see Elisa Marie as well. And if we see Elisa Marie, I would like to even go as far as we might even see Uncle Carla, which is who me personally, am very interested in seeing. I think Uncle Carla, because we seen him episode 13 of the final season of Power. But we didn't really get to see much of him. He looked like this tough ass, even Tommy was kind of scared. Think about it. When Elisa Marie said that's his uncle, he was like head of the Savallo mob. And she was like, yeah. He was like, God damn. I think he was, I ain't gonna say he was just all the way spooked, but he definitely respected him. He knew like this nigga ain't no joke. So, and of course, Vincent was afraid of him. So this dude is nothing to be played. I would definitely love to see more of him. So it would be nice if they bring him along. And as y'all can see, what I have up in there, up at the top, I was looking at CG. You remember you sent those posts to me of JP on set and stuff like that, and he had a photo of him taking a picture with Mary J. Blige. So it just makes me think: is there a possibility that maybe Mary J. Blige is going to be in Force? Because remember, there's going to be a time when Tommy has to come back to Chicago. So perhaps there's a small cameo, a small scene with Mary J. Monet while he's there. Because I do think Tommy is absolutely going to be involved with when Tasha gets the guns and stuff to take a shot at her. Okay. I think possibly both. In New York, he may approach Alicia Marie in New York, and Auntie Delaris peeped it. Then she pops up with the goons to hunt Tommy after episode 9. Tasha would definitely be enforced with her little machine gun she shot Monet with. Yeah, I think so. Tariq and Braden for sure. I'm not sure about Effie and Diana, and maybe Ramona. Yeah, I think getting how I live mentioned that maybe Ramona would show up as um, Stacy's new campaign manager. And I think that is a great way to bring Ramona back in, but I also think if they do bring Ramona back in, they gotta bring Ghost back in. Just saying. I know y'all for y'all Ghost haters, y'all don't want to hear it. I'm just saying. Don't want Brady showing up in force with Tariq to help Tommy, or he will end up getting smoked. Hey, I remember I put him in my death predictions. Uncle Carlo had his foot on. Hell yeah. Yep, definitely saw those pics. It's a long, bro. It's a long ass gallery of them damn pics. But I think they made budget cuts to Force season 3. She'll kill the whole savings. Well, I don't know. Perhaps some kind of negotiations could have been done. And also, I don't think, you know, filming for Chicago is nearly, well, it's not no I think. I know filming in Chicago is nowhere near as expensive as filming in New York. because the taxes are different. Like New York taxes is about as bad as ours here in LA. So it's much cheaper to film in Chicago. So that saves you on the budget there. And it's not nearly as expensive to close down a highway as it is in New York. So they save a whole lot of money like that. And keep in mind, Mary J wasn't the only one in book two that was getting a lot of money. You also had Michael Rainey was getting paid 150K. Method Man was getting paid 150K. Not sure what Michael Ealy was getting, but we know he was getting a good ass grip. It's Michael Ealy. There's no way he wasn't. So he's taking up a lot of money. And Forrest, the only person that you probably paying big bucks to is Tommy. Nobody else really is super big that you got to pay a whole lot of money to. So they can afford to have Mary J for one episode. I think they all might be coming too. Go to okay. I want to see Drew in Forest. He could be in town stalking his ex Everett in the Chicago in the NBA and run into Tariq and decide to help for a fee. That's not bad, my boy. So this nigga Everett gonna be playing for the Chicago Bulls, the G League team now. Their social media page has been quiet as heck. You talking about book two, the book two ghost characters? Nah, keep right where he at with the fight clubs. He don't need to be in Chirac with Tariq. Yeah, I could see Drew on his Joe from you shit for sure. If it came in the shot, it's gonna be quick, so nobody will know who they are. Get in and get out. Yep. What if Tommy took D-Mac to New York with him when he goes for Tasha? That'd be kind of crazy. I mean, I would think they would show him. And also, he probably would have Tasha meet him if he was there with him. But maybe they just didn't show that on screen. So I won't just say completely no, but I don't know. I would say more than likely no. But hey, that'd be good if they did. It'd be nice to see that. We don't have no huge team yet if they timeline is right. Well, no, I think when Tommy reaches out to him, it's going to be after Tariq. When Tommy reaches out to him, it's going to be after Tariq already made the connection with Cheetah or whatever his name is, Cheetah or Cheetah or whatever. hey, hey, for real, Slim, that shit funny as hell. Hi, my name is Brandon. I'm a I remember that shit. Kanye used to be on the so sad. Yeah, Denard definitely taking out JP, bro. That's happening. He about to get his ass up out of here. So I don't want to say I think there might come in this damn crossover. Let me think. Is there anybody else that might be missing? He didn't mention. Something else I noticed is Tommy didn't mention Maria when he was talking to Tasha. So could it be that maybe they ain't? Because I'm trying. Let's see. Book 2, season 3. What episode was what season was Forrest on? Forrest only had one season out by then, right? Or had season 2 already dropped? Davis, I just don't see a role. David, well, you know what? I take that back. Davis could be because it still is kind of crazy that we're wondering how in the world was Davis saying when your attorney and your homicidal uncle tells you to, you know, not to go to war, you probably should listen. Or he said something like that. So how in the world did he know Tommy told him that? Unless, off screen, Tommy, off screen, Tariq told him that Tommy told him that. And it kind of don't make sense, but maybe. So you think Davis? So Davis could be in the episode when he comes to New York, or possibly. But it definitely don't make sense for Davis to go to Chicago. This nigga not a soldier, you know. He not a gangster like that. Like, look how he was acting once he killed dude. Tariq told Davis the story just before the scene focuses in. Yeah, I was correct. Yeah, whatever it was an off-screen message that he told him. But at the same time, though, we can only assume they can easily write it in But real quick though, I mean, I could look it up, but I was trying to hurry up and just be lazy and ask y'all. Does anyone know when did season 2 of Force come out? Did it come out before season 3 of Ghost? I want to say season 3 of Ghost came out first, but I'm not sure. Okay, so it was after, like I thought. So with that being said, since it was after, maybe they hadn't even written in the character of Maria yet. That's the reason why he didn't mention it when he, showed up in episode 9 and 10 of book 2, season 3. And then later they wrote, because, JP was in the storyline since season 1, so he knew about him. So that would make sense to me. That's probably why he didn't mention Maria to Tasha, even though the timelines right now, with Tommy being there, should be he already knows Maria. Sachs working with the feds. Yes, Davis. Yes, Davis, the fucking feds. Yeah, I know. I already know. Them Twitch bots be on there. They don't really bother me too much, though. They just say that little bullshit every once in a while. You think Maria wouldn't be the topic at that point? I mean, shit, that's his lover. I mean, you can let him know he found love again. Possibly. Maybe, but I can guarantee y'all they're going to, once they show the scene between Tasha and Tommy, from Tommy's perspective, once he goes back to New York, he's going to mention it because it's written in now. Season 3 of book 2 was 2 or 3 years in the end. D-Mac being Tommy's number 2 would be wild. That's how you know this nigga Tommy ain't got nobody. He gonna pick a YN that's wilding the fuck out. That really ain't got no experience to be his number 2. That'd be wild. That's crazy. Remember that Crew has it podcast season. Hold on. Remember that Crew has a podcast episode with Joseph and Gianni. He alluded to Tommy running out of help in Chicago, so they might have already planned for season 3 story. That is true. I absolutely remember that. He definitely. I remember Joseph saying Tommy's running out of friends. Yep. Because they were saying, they kind of was mentioning that maybe they, could come up there. I think they was, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were talking about the potential of Braden and Tommy meeting. But see, that's how you know that they're coming. I've been trying to tell them. Braden is absolutely coming to Chicago. I don't know. He could get popped. Like, really. He could get popped. in force. And I believe Kane is coming too. Because like I told y'all, when the crew has it podcast, Kane talked about it. He was saying that maybe us and because I think Woody was dropping a couple of jewels there of what's to come without telling us for real. Because he said, Tariq, Kane, Effie, and Braden could show up. And he could show Braden could show up. He was talking about them showing up in Chicago. So I think he was saying that. And he also mentioned something about the Tejadas could have a spinoff. Think about that. Hold on, let me read some of this. Do we think Tommy is hallucinating when we see him staring at the mystery person sitting down at his place? It's crazy you mentioned that, bro, because that's definitely something else, another point I was getting ready to go to. Because I was going to say, we've been so focused on all these other things that we forgot all about. Because I haven't seen anyone, mentioning that. But I'm going to say this. I would say he probably is hallucinating. I'm going to go with that person in that kick chair is Kanan. That's my opinion. I think it's going to be Kanan. Would love for it to be Ghost, but that's going to be Kanan. Because I think after he's talking about baptizing D-Mac and, and stuff like that in the game, just like Kanan did us, and then, D-Mac says who. So I think the fact that he's mentioning Kanan, it would make sense for him to show up in a hallucination and probably be like, I thought I taught you better than that, or some shit like that. Because it's gonna probably be something that mistake that Tommy is making, or some shit like that, or it's something that Tommy's not seeing clearly, and he's gonna be like, I thought I told you better than that, or it could just might turn out to be a hallucination of Ghost, which would set the internet on absolute fire. It wouldn't set the internet on fire as much as him showing up as a living body, but it still would set the internet on fire. But okay, so y'all talking about him, you're saying Tommy has to go into hiding. That phone call doesn't seem like he's going into hiding. I said that too. They all was taking pictures too at that point. I remember a photo of Woody and Joseph Sakura dressed in black together. Even when they were getting people to vote, I figured they were filming too. What would that would mean Kane and Reek on good terms, which should have happened a long time ago. Well, I mean, yeah, we could see them finally getting over the beef that they had because Tariq kind of did pay respects to his mother, and I think Kane's jealousy of possibly being replaced is what led to his hatred of Tariq anyway. So now that Monet is gone, maybe his hate for Tariq is gone as well. Book 2 was the hottest spinoff. Unfortunately, I don't want them around ruining Legacy 2. They all on their own now, so it would be more serious. They not kids no more. I think it'll be good, bro. Why y'all hate on the hottest, man? What if the person in the chair is Tourette's? That's a good pick. Could be Tourette's. I don't always get predictions right, but Braden, the only prediction I actually want to be wrong. You think Tariq learned how to fight yet? Fuck no. That nigga still getting his ass beat. I love Braden like I love Tommy when they like chocolates to say. I don't know about all that. Well, Gary Lennon and others have said the theme of this season is never say never. Ooh. So you never know about ghosts, I guess. You never know about Tommy getting his ass up out of here at the end either. I said that too, that Tommy might be on the run with Kane and go to the ATL. That'd be crazy and probably would be damn good if that happened. I mean, he'll be getting haunted by the Italians and needs to call in backup quick. And that's when Tommy changed his name to Breeze. Just tell you me all silent. Shit. We need a spinoff of the Tardis Play cousins, Gilberto, Roberto, Alberto, etc. No, yeah, they dead as hell. I think he's talking about maybe a prequel. Whatever happens at the end of Force is supposed to happen. It's supposed to help transition us to Legacy, so it's going to play out a little different than most people think. Like I said, I think the Tejadas is absolutely going to be in Legacy, though, unless they get their own private. I always had this little thing that I believe they might have, because we only know of one prequel, one sequel thus far. I think it's a possibility that they could end up having two prequels going on at the same time and two sequels. So that way they can be doing crossovers on both, shows. Like the prequels having crossovers. Because keep in mind, look at this. This actually might make sense. Think about this. They started in the Origins prequel, sorry, in 2002, right? That's the year Tariq is born. Who also is born in that year? Diana. And keep in mind when they showed Monet in flashbacks, the one when she had in Juve, it was around that time, in the 2000s. So that way, if they did start the spin-outs when, Monet was kind of younger, trying to raise the kids and stuff like that, coming up with Lorenzo, things like that. That way, even though Ghost and Tommy and them, it seemed like they never met, they could easily write it in that they did and have them doing crossovers because it's taking place around the same time. Oh yeah, Don Carter about to be ugly as hell next. I guarantee that. Yeah, they all coming back. So it's Drew going to Paris to start a business there too. If Ghost comes back for Legacy, the whole storyline changes. That is true. But I would be all for it. More storylines within each other. Well, Origins is technically a sequel to Raising Kanan, but it's still a prequel. It's really a prequel though, because you can't really even say it's a sequel because it's a sequel, which means it starts right after that. It's like the aftermath of whatever that series is. If if Origin starts in 2002, that's not a sequel to Raising Kanan because that's much after. They all have to be connected to coincidence. Tariq was assigned to Zeke. Yeah, would be funny if we got a Simon Stern spinoff. Hell no. Claudia, how I think she's going out, brutal. She gonna get her ass smoked. we need to see a major character go to prison and force all this dirt they doing without spending a day in jail is ridiculous. I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. There's no way in hell these niggas doing all this killing, all these pushing all these drugs, and nobody goes to jail. Like everybody's not gonna just die or get away with this shit. Somebody gonna get caught and go to jail. I remember Courtney Kemp saying years ago she was interested in a Lobo spinoff. Yep, remember that too. And that's one that I think could possibly show up. My thing is that reading all them damn subtitles. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of goddamn subtitles if they did that, right? Which I'll be up for reading all them damn subtitles. I mean, I've done shit like that before. Like when I'm watching anime, you remember when Naruto first came out and shit like that? Before they had the English dub, you had to fucking read the subtitles. But like, bro, I ain't trying to do that shit right now. Nah, I ain't trying to do that subtitle. I mean, if they put it out, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna look at it, but I ain't gonna be happy about it. Better do like goddamn Squid Games and get some goddamn English speakers. it would likely be a mix of subtitles and then English. Yeah, but shit, if it's too much of that shit, I ain't gonna be liking it. Cause I'm gonna be having to pause that shit and rewind, pause that shit and rewind. 'Cause you know, sometimes them motherfucking subtitles don't be keeping up with the shit them motherfuckers be saying. So you gotta, in order to know what they said and stuff, you gotta rewind that shit. You can watch the English dub where the sound that don't match the lips moving. Hey, I don't care. I do it. If she never left, how different do you think the spinoffs would be except Raising Kanan? Man, if she the one holding up Ghost, I'm sorry. Get your ass out of here, good Courtney. But I ain't gonna lie. I definitely loved her right. But yeah, the new writers absolutely need to follow her lead. We probably would have known about Ghost Brother like she teased. Probably get Tate spinoff, and if book two went how she planned to reach final showdown with Kane. Yep. I got a video coming for that brothers thing. Most of the Ghost 2 are are fan favorites. They not gonna waste them like that. With Kane being wanted by the FBI for murder and him never liking Tariq means it makes no sense for him to show up in force. But if he does, it would turn to show up another notch. Definitely would. To be honest, if she had stayed, we probably wouldn't be getting Power Origins because she wasn't co-signing that shit at the time. True, could possibly be also a case. Here for Tariq versus Kane, if she stayed, I don't think Reek would have been giving people left, right, century. You saw how thirsty he was for revenge when he was locked up in season two. Man, I hope Kane be in Legacy unless they planning to give him his own spinoff. But one thing for sure, they can't just write his character. Because if he was that Cam Newton interview talking about he didn't want to be in that villain role for his career. I mean, I feel it. I did see that, and it kind of makes me think because typecasting is absolutely a thing in Hollywood, unfortunately. But his breakout role really wasn't, the Kane to Holly. It was Bobby Brown. So I think that should diversify his characters enough, to let people know he's not just a gangster. This dude he can legitimately act. He can turn to Kane, he can turn to Bobby Brown. He probably can be a nerd if he wanted to. Like I think he's that type of actor that he can diversify himself. I still believe that if Courtney Kemp plan for book two happened, Kane and Tariq showdown would have ended with Kane getting smoked or put in prison by Tariq as caught. Even if they are not main characters, I hope they get recurring roles. Right. Brett Mahoney low key lets us down with that storyline, to be honest. Just like he let us down in the last two seasons of example of Empire when he I said example this Empire when he took over as show. So he fucked up two shows? Damn. The whole Power show is like that for a reason. You said Kane and Gianni Capping, but him being a villain is but him being a villain is his best role in my opinion. Yeah, perhaps. Ghost to Tariq needed more male presence, not his enemies, being Monet and Noma. That was weak. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like how is all of this nigga's villains, main villains, women? It definitely makes him look weak. Hold up. That was a lot of damn comments right there. Do you think Lauren will ever come back? Do hell going on with that story? Yep, Lauren gonna come back. She gonna come back just like Angie. Probably in Legacy, honestly. Legacy might do a slight time jump. Goes to okay, I read that one. I guess I missed his comment. I mean, what the fuck did bring Too Big back in season 4 for 10 seconds for? What a waste. Right, it really didn't make no sense. They should have gave book 2 Gary Lennon. I know Force is mid, but I'll trust him more than Brett Mahoney if I was in charge. Well, so far, Gary's doing all right with season 3. I must say, season 3 is starting to heat up, looking pretty good. I didn't like how they did Tariq character like that, and they never finished Effie's story either. Why bring her back to not know who she really is? Yeah, like I said, I give them a little bit of grace because I think their cancellation fucked them up. But hey, they better not let Brett Mahoney near another Power show again. The only Mahoney I want to see near Power is Mecha's old ops. 2-Bit was probably a Courtney Kim decision because they used to date and they broke up. Yeah, it was. No question about that. I don't know why 2-Bit not a season regular. He should be, and hopefully they go ahead and upgrade that back to it. The only thing interesting about 2-Bit so far, I guess, is that he vegan. If he actually vegan. Shit. Tommy Kane 2-Bit would have had some funny sayings. Yeah, for sure. Courtney did 2-Bit dirty. What's yeah, he definitely did. What's up, Marky? Got mad because that man didn't want to be with her no more. Because you know it was him. It ain't no way it was her, probably. Or maybe she found out that he was smashing somebody else. That's probably what it was. Realistically, where is Legacy gonna take place? Are you speaking of like what city, or like you're talking about like the plot or whatever? The city is gonna be in New York. The Bobby Brown story was only a BET special, not a major motion picture. Besides, Book 2 goes to Woody McClain doesn't have any other big roles. His resume isn't thick enough to be typecast. I mean, I get it. There's a BET motion picture, but still, it's still people still recognize him from it. Like particularly the black community more so, but still, that's big enough that people know him in something else outside of. Like it's people that a lot of people actually that has seen the Bobby Brown story, but haven't seen Pop. Because as massive as the power fan base is certain people that's just not their cup of tea. So they ain't gonna watch that. Bobby Brown is kind of more, more so anybody can watch it. Not saying that the fan base for Bobby Brown is bigger, but still. I like Jannard too, but how will he fit? So maybe Diamond is a gunner. My Diamond up out of here. Absolutely, that nigga up out of here. D-Mac, Kane, and 2-Bit all in one scene would be crazy. Can't lie, Jannard probably my favorite character on the fourth show. Probably more Chris Lawton's acting for him. Yeah, the city is gonna be in New York. The plot, shit. The plot, I would guess, is that I think they're gonna be basically trying to get Tariq to become the next Ghost while Tommy is mentoring him. That's if Ghost isn't popping back up. I'm starting to think, and like I said, I've been said this when they first announced it. I think Tommy will become the next Breeze, and Tariq will take him out because he's going to become too much of a danger to him, and he's going to be in the way. I'm starting to think that's the real reason she wrote Ghost off too. Courtney Kemp wanted to smash Amari too. Could be a possibility. They can have scenes back and forth with different places and plots if they do it right. The gospel of Jesus Christ is that God loves us, and through Jesus' death and resurrection, those who trust Him receive forgiveness, new life, and a restored relationship with God. Okay, my boy, Problem 7544. But this, unfortunately, isn't that type of live right now. But I feel you. If Tariq off Tommy, well, I guess you meant or Tommy. No, you said off Tommy. That's what you meant. If Tariq off Tommy, he really gonna be the most hated character ever. Hey, he survived doing it to Ghost. Why can't he survive doing it with Tommy? Yeah, he been saying for a while Tommy's already basically Breeze 2.0. He currently at the stage of making big money before he has to relocate, just like we found Breeze just relocated to Queens. Yep. No, I mean, I don't let his ass stay up in it. I think every once in a while they come through and say that he good. Like Jehovah's Witness knocking on your door. Are you prepared for Jehovah's return? Because if you not, I have a brother. Well, fuck you, half dead motherfuckers. Come on, sister. Come on, sister. Okay, just making sure if you're cool with these comments. I don't mind everybody else. I like Snaps and Pops should get their own prequel. You think Snaps and you know I wouldn't be against it because they seem like some bad motherfuckers and some very interesting characters. It would be kind of nice to see their upbringing and what happened. How did they become who they became? I wouldn't be against it. I think it'd be an interesting story. What else, DeMarcus? If they do Origins, I would say do a multi-plot series with all the characters' backstories. I mean, I don't think they're gonna do that though, Ali, because I mean they specifically said that it's supposed to be the upbringing of Ghost and Tommy. If they do everybody, then it kind of would defeat the purpose. So if they do it, they're probably gonna do it only with the people really close to them, which would be probably Kanan, Breeze, and then we're starting to question Breeze now because shit, with them starting with 2002, it seems like the timeline is off and he should already be dead. But we don't know exactly how they're gonna write it. All right, CG. So who the characters you think they bringing back for Legacy? So me personally, Tariq, Tommy, D Mac, I think Kane should be in it. Hopefully he's in it. I think Diana Absolute is gonna be in it. Effie probably will. Who knows? Like I told you, Braden might not. Not sure. But those I think for sure will make it in. And then perhaps you get guest appearance and shit from Drew. Perhaps the same with Kane, not sure. But I think Diana will be a regular because believe whatever other folks believe it or not, me personally, I think that's who his love interest is gonna be. Tariq is gonna turn out to be her. Because like I said, I just can't get past them having that baby. And then the episode 5, season 4 scene with them having a child. And like I said, in the BTS scene, they had a baby. I believe the storyline just changed once the show was canceled. So they wrote it in that the baby died. But I think originally it's supposed to survive. So with that being said, I think he's absolutely going to get her pregnant again. And this time the baby will survive. Because think about this. Remember, Courtney Kemp was saying that Tariq and Kanan is very much alike. What did Kanan do at his young age? He had a child that was aborted. And then his next one, Sean, made it. So Tariq might be the same. Not the one with Ghost and Tommy, but like another series that has the flashbacks. Okay, I got you. I got Jehovah Witnesses and Witnesses. They're nothing like how Friday betraying them. They don't swear either when doors get shut on. Of course, bro. Of course. Braidline, he definitely gonna be in it. He never had an interaction with Tommy yet on screen. He can have it in force and then get his ass killed. King Kilo was more dangerous than Akbar, I believe, but we don't know for sure yet. The whole plot of the Tejadas was to have a princess with the prince. Tariq. Okay. Not a bad take. King Kilo, Akbar can't get up good. That's right. I wonder if Cruz, Miguel, right hand man, tell Che that Miguel is betraying him by working with Roberto Ortega. Demarcus, I'm gonna go the other direction. I think more that someone's gonna tell. I think somebody's gonna tell the Ortega that Miguel is playing both sides, and that's what's gonna make Kung Lao kill him. I'm gonna stick with it. And now don't want no fighting in the chat. It says, bro, he's good, bro. He just saying it's been he good. Anyway, though, I'm gonna be wrapping it up soon. I'm like I said, wasn't planning on being on it too long this tonight. It got 2 hours in so far. How you feel about Origins? I honestly don't like the character playing Kanan. He doesn't have any grit to him to play that role. So I absolutely agree with you when it comes to Makai Curtis playing Kanan. Like he could slide with playing the younger version of Kanan because this is his upbringing. He's just now coming up, and he's younger. He's learning the game. He's not that ruthless yet, but playing the guy that Ghost and Tommy was under, and now with Breeze in the picture and shit like that. No, you need a different game. And then it just doesn't make sense for us to have this short ass nigga with a Ghost that's 5 feet 10, 5 feet 11. You know what I'm saying? Both Ghost and Tommy is taller than him. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. Like that. I mean, I'm still gonna be very much interested to see how they do this, but it's just seems like to me is gonna just from that aspect could screw because people. I don't know if people are gonna be sold on you know this guy being 50 Cent's character when he was younger. What if she choked Miguel like how Kanan did Dre? Nah, I don't see that happening. And I definitely don't like the Ghost character. I already seen him act before. He's not it, but he's a good actor. So I'm gonna give the guy who's playing Ghost character a little bit spends more. I'm gonna give him a little bit more grace. Like I said, he can act, like you just said, and I think it's more so we just comparing him to Amari, more so since he doesn't look anything like Amari. And to my knowledge of what I've seen, and probably what most people have seen, they haven't seen him portray a role anything like Ghost. So it would make you just think he can't do it. But I doubt they just cast someone that they think is incapable of, portraying a character so iconic and pivotal to the power story. So Nah, I just think the problem is they should have recasted Kanan. She said Breeze was shorty too. Yeah, but Breeze is closer. You know, Breeze is still taller than Kanan. That's the thing. Breeze is my height. And watch it with the shortest thing. It's all good. You know, Breeze is 5'7". This nigga Kanan is 5'1". Like that is crazy. The money CZ, aka you guy from Wu-Tang Clan, should have been cast as young James St. Patrick instead of Spence Moore. I've been hearing that, and although I didn't watch the Wu-Tang series, it probably would make more sense since the guy looks more like, since he looks more like Amari than Spence Moore does, and it would be a character that Breeze is already, aka Shamar Moore is already, I said Shamar Moore, Shanique Moore is already familiar with. They worked together before. So, it would make sense. Would the opinion of Spence Moore as young Ghost change if young Kanan was casted with an older but different actor instead of Makai? Yes, I think it would. I absolutely think it would. If Kanan was more intimidating looking, a better actor, just seems to be up the part like 50 Cent was in the original Power. I think folks wouldn't care as much. Now, I still think he'll get pushback. Honestly, I think no matter, since Amari set the bar so high, it's almost nearly impossible for whoever it is that's coming behind him to play the younger version of him. It's some very big shoes for someone to fill. And so it probably would be some kind of, you know, it would be some kind of disappointment from fans either way. But I just think with Spence Moore, since he just doesn't really look like him at all, he's getting a little bit more pushback than usual. And the fact that he's so much taller than the person that they keeping as Kanan make it that much worse. Spence Moore looked like he should have been cast as young Diamond from Force. Yeah, but they complexion is kind of a good one. Yeah, the nigga 5'1", bro. Daniel Israel should be cast as Darnell Washington. Yeah, we've been hearing rumors of that, but I've been saying Daniel Israel is who should have played Kanan. Yeah, that nigga yo height, Ali. You 5'1" though? Talk about shorty. Get those short ass out of here. Anyway. But yeah, that nigga is 5'1", bro. I could not believe it when I seen that shit. I said, bro, this nigga is short as fuck, bro. Like this nigga is shorter than Rock without her heels. What the fuck? That shit crazy as hell. Talking all that shit when he came. Everybody in the hood can beat your ass, nigga. Shut your little ass up. Hey, some little niggas can do their thing though. But I don't think he one of them. Origins is gonna be stupid because we're going to miss out on a lot of backstory since it's only going to have like 2 to 3 seasons. There's too much backstory to come. Not necessarily, because as I'm pretty sure you're probably aware of, they're doing 18 episodes for this first season. If they do 3 seasons of 18 episodes, roughly it'll be equal to almost 4 seasons. So 4 seasons is enough to do all of it. Especially if they decide to go, 4 seasons, then they absolutely would have enough time to do it. Because basically that would be equivalent to 7 seasons, and that's more than enough time. I believe 3 seasons is probably more like if they keep the 18 episodes thing, more like what they probably would do, which would put it at basically 5 seasons, and I still think 5 seasons is enough. We're gonna miss out on Ghost met Angela, which is bullshit. I agree, but that's only with the assumption that they're gonna, have the timeline focus on 2002 and never touch back, which I don't think they're going to. Also, we could get to be honest with you, which I think is more than likely going to happen. We're going to get the Ghost meet Angela story in Raising Kanan season 5, because Ghost and Angela should be meeting each other around 1993. They're currently in like November of 92 on the last season of Raising Kanan season 4. So I think it's safe to say in 93, they're going to run into 93 this season. So they probably going to have Ghost and Angela meet in season 5. But we're probably still going to get that regardless of how origins play out. Now, what we could miss, unless they do a flashback, which they're probably going to do, is how Ghost met Tasha. They got to give us that. So they got to give us a flashback. We some hobbits around here. Spence Moore looked like he should have been cast as E-Tone, aka Lamar Jackson. But that was a very small role. Even Woody McClain, if he was never cast for book 2 as Kane, could have played a young Kanan. Absolutely, because he has the height to it too, because him and 50 Cent is around the same height. In his 20s, remember Woody said that on the Crew Has It podcast. Yeah, he said that when he first got his audition, he thought he was auditioning for the role of young Kanan. But it was Kane. I hope in Origins we get Tate as a police officer. I thought about that. I definitely thought about that. And that's something I absolutely myself would be looking forward to as well. Yeah, I think that'd be cool to figure out how he was as a dirty cop. You said they had 4 seasons of book 2, but book 2 supposed to went more than 4 seasons. The production, the executives fucked it up once they canceled it. Hopefully, we got young Ghost meeting Rolla in Power Origins. I'm almost positive we're gonna get that because he comes after Angela already left. We know that from the original Power, so he would have to play a pretty significant role in Ghost's story, storyline, because of him speaking of how close, and Tasha also talked about how close him and Roller was. So yeah, positive he's gonna be in it. Well, book two got canceled because of budget, and there was no rewrites for the scripts, plus writer screen. Absolutely, that's what did it. Tate didn't find out who killed his brother. That what happened to RSJ. We got no Effie backstory. Where the hell is Mahal? Yeah, we just talked about that. So, Kanan gonna introduce him to Tasha. Probably. Young Tate as an officer would probably be similar to Carter. I was thinking about that, but I don't think he's bad as Carter. Carter is head. I wonder if Michaela, the girl that Crystal said Kanan was cheating with, could be Jarita first name. Interesting. Could be. Didn't ever think about that, but yeah. Well, actually, I did think about that. Not that I think. Not that I'm sitting there thinking. I did think perhaps that was who was going to turn out to be his baby mama. But I don't know. I think I may lean towards it's a totally different genre. We would have more seasons of book two if 50 ain't waste money on that BMF crap. Well, seasons one and two of BMF was worth it. Just seasons three and four was. Season four wasn't even that bad, but three was just atrocious, and it killed it to the point that folks didn't care about season four. Bro, Raising Kanan season five bet not be no fucking 8 seasons, and I seriously doubt it. What if B. Mickey played the young Roller? Let me try to think about it. I mean, shit, I'm for it. He was a good actor and shit. Yeah, he was in his 20s. I don't know if I'll say he was 20, but he was in his 20s for sure. Another mystery that needs to be addressed is who Effie was texting in OG Power. I care more about that than Breeze, aka Cole. That is incredible. But I do feel you though. That is something that a lot of people were curious of. Who the fuck was she texting? Ghost raised up Roller in the streets, so he had to have been a kid, maybe a little older than Sean. Yeah, I think he probably was like, I could say him being about 3 to 5 years older than Sean. So Sean, when Power first started, was 20. So I would give Roller anywhere between 22 to 25. Honestly, I would say Roller is close to Dre age. That's probably his age range. Nah, you tripping not. You tripping not, but boy, Scotty. Raising Kanan season five about to be 5 years. If Bel Air last season is 8 episodes, Raising Kanan season five, no it ain't. It's nowhere near the same thing. Not the same budget, not the same network, and not the same caliber of it's just a lot of stuff different. It's only one season of Power, period. There has been 8 seasons, and that's the very first. The only reason why that one was 8 seasons, 8 episodes, is because it was the first season, and they wasn't sure whether or not it was going to be a hit or a flop. Networks do that when the show is untested, especially with black shows. They you know how they do us. So that's the reason why that one was 8. But no way in hell as a hit show like that with the massive fan base is gonna drop down to the finale being 8 episodes. Fuck me. It's not happening. Bro, it's crazy. I still have not watched Bel Air. I might try to go ahead and fucking watch it tonight when I get out this line, which is about to be the next 10 minutes. But yeah, I still haven't seen it. You think Roller looked a little rough? I mean, I suppose so, of who they cast, but nah, you got to think about it. Ghost and Tommy in season one was 35. They were around 34, 30, 35 years old. They were calling Roller a kid. Even, matter of fact, even Tasha referred to him as a kid, kind of. She was like, you know, I know how much you love that boy. She was basically talking as if he was very young. So, like I said, he's no older. I would say he's absolutely no older than 25. But I would, if I had to guess, I would guess he was probably in like maybe 25. I'll stick with 25. That's probably what it is. Like I said, like around Dre's age. Bel Air is fire. I wish I had more seasons. Yeah, I'm still mad that they cutting off with 4 seasons. It's crazy. This better not be him trolling again. Bro, who are you talking about? Why the fuck Jukebox not gonna be in orgies? Interesting, but she could be capping. But it also would make sense why she wouldn't be in orgy if they started in 2002, because that would mean Jukebox was long gone. But I still think she's gonna show up to do some guest roles here and there. The budget thing is an issue too. Yep. I'm gonna definitely watch it. No question. That's a good question. Why did Tommy dislike Roller? Guess that's something we're gonna find out. Could be because he was a little jealous because Ghost had, took a liking to him. Could be that. I don't know if Kanan hated him, but I mean, he definitely didn't have no problem with taking his ass out. Hopefully, we get Young Ghost getting Julio out of the. I want that too, Demar. That's definitely something I, me personally, was looking forward to seeing. I want to know what happened between Julio when he got caught up with the Todos Locos and what exactly did Ghost do to get him out. Like, well, I'm pretty sure he paid a hefty fine, gave him some money and shit like that. And of course, he gave him some territory. But what was it? How deep was Julio into that shit? And why was Ghost willing to go that far to save him? Julio probably killed someone in that crew and had got a price on his head. Well, no, they said he wanted out of the Totos Locos. And, you know, they are blood in, blood out. So I don't think it had nothing to do with him killing somebody. It probably was they were had for him doing some things that he wasn't comfortable doing, and it started to affect maybe his life and his family. And he decided he wanted to go another direction, and Ghost offered him a better opportunity. That's what I think. We should get more Victor in Power Origins. Yeah, that's true. That's a character that just disappeared, which is great. Will Ghost know unique? That's a good question and interesting. Shit. Uh, I would say so, especially if Ghost does the younger version of Ghost surface this last season. I would guess he probably would know. Where's Cristobal? Motherfucker in jail, and they ain't never show his ass again. What's up, Lily? I know why he's not in any of the spinoffs because of the Tyler Perry show he's in. Yeah, but trust me, nobody is staying on Tyler Perry when you have the opportunity to go to Power. Two totally different budgets. Not happening. Power just ain't gave that nigga a, a role to come back in. It don't matter if he got a lead role up in his show. Tyler Perry in general does not pay as much as um, characters in Power get. Like Tyler Perry payroll, this nigga pay you 100 grand for the 100 grand for the season, maybe like 150K for the season, which is still pretty good with the fact that Tyler Perry shoots very fast. Like Tyler Perry, excuse me, he'll have a 16 episode season, and most, you know what I'm saying, most shows it would take you probably roughly 6 to 8 months to shoot 16 episodes. But Tyler Perry will probably knock that out in maybe two months. So to get 150K in 2 months is still not that bad, but it still pales in comparison to what the top actors in Power, like Tariq on Power, Michael Rainey, he's getting paid 150K per episode. So he's getting paid over $1 million for the season. Two totally different budgets. Any chance we'll see Mecca in Origins? Doubt it. Yeah, he's getting paid for regular people, but in comparison to other people that's on top shows in the industry, that's not much. Even if he was getting paid up 500K for this season, that still pales in comparison to what big time TV stars are getting paid. Like Mary J was getting paid that nearly that per episode. Might say we getting the Noma backstory in Bel Air. At what age do y'all think Ghost and Tommy met Proctor? Also, did he represent anybody in the Thomas family? That's interesting to see that he represent anybody in the Thomas family, but I would like to say no because of the age differences. So I seriously doubt it. because Joe Proctor seemed like he's closer to Ghost and Tommy's them age, and obviously they were kids when the Thomas family was kind of dominant in Queens. But the age of Ghost and Tom when Ghost and Tommy met Proctor, I mean, shit. We go back to season two. Season two, they should be anywhere between 35 and 36. So around that age. Have you seen the movie Cinnamon with Haley Kilgore, aka Jukebox, on Tubi? Nope. I don't even watch Tubi. Unless one of my friends got something on there and they ask me to, I don't really watch it. Damn, so he didn't care if they Tejadas took over. I'm still getting paid. Yeah, shit. For the most part, you know what I'm saying. Like 150K per episode, and you got 10 episodes. Shit, that's 1.5 million. Obviously, the taxes gonna hit it, but still a good little amount of change. Yeah, we understand that about Mary J, but I'm just telling you the differences in the amount of money being paid in top show. Like for instance, uh, what's her name? Taraji P Henson in Empire. Taraji P Henson was getting paid $180,000 per episode. You're lucky to get that for a season in Tyler Perry. Just saying. And how the fuck the Tejadas ain't know about the same patches of Tommy? That made I agree with you there, 100%. There's no way in hell they ain't supposed to know each other. All right, so support this month. they we see another one. We might have to go ahead and get rid of them. They starting to do the most. Well, I don't think he's gonna come back, but if he do, you can time his ass out. I wish to replay Tasha in Power. That would have been epic. Taraji, I'm sorry. That just I don't know about that, but hey, I mean, I think Notori did a fairly good job. So no, it's just this person showing up. Like I don't mean to. Ain't nobody getting kicked out, but it's the people that just randomly coming up trying to, bring us to a congregation right now, and like we ain't on it right. Courtney Kemp years ago said Lorenzo knows about Ghost and Tommy. Monet that didn't because she's from Brooklyn. I think I recall her saying that. That's a good question, Hezzy, because I sure just looked at it and saw that it was only 9 likes, and I know for sure this shit went up to like 20 something people at one point. So them folks ain't hitting that like that. It's cool. How far have you made it in Snowfall? No, DeMar, the reason why the count low is because niggas are coming here and just forget to do the damn hit the damn like button. That's what the shit is. Shit, even I find when certain shit I watch, I be a victim of it. And I gotta remember, like, damn, I forgot to hit the like button, and I had to go back and do it. People don't understand how significant it helps the channel just by simply doing that. Okay, I mean, if you want to compare today, I can show my dashboard. I gained a shitload of subscribers as of late, so it ain't that. Okay, that's you. That's and I appreciate that you do that. I'm telling you, a lot of people when they see stuff, they first thing they do is come in and send a comment, and then they may engage for a little while and then jump off. Forget all about hitting the like button because it's a live, and if you're not, matter of fact, the top sometimes the top YouTubers that shit happens to. So it's just niggas just forget to hit the like button. Bro. Like when I watch big time YouTubers with millions of subscribers, they doing a live. Sometimes they gotta stop the show and tell folks, we not gonna continue until y'all hit the like, get these likes up. Or you gotta just mention, hey, get these likes up, get these likes up. We should already be at whatever number. They do that all the time, so that's typical. It takes her like 45 years for one show. Well, I mean, she got one show already though. That's I know they already got into development that shooting out here. So that may be true, but at the end of the day, like what I say is still is true. When they do lives, they got to tell people to get the lights up because people don't do it. Like I said, anyway, though, I'm about to go ahead and close this one out. We had 2:45, 2 hours and 45 minutes. So that's actually a bit over what I was planning to do. But hey, appreciate everybody that stopped through. We can go ahead and get our last couple of remarks in for the people that still remaining in here. But yeah, I'm definitely about to close it out. People gonna complain about shows. It's gonna happen. I told you this before, and I'm gonna say it again. I don't get how you think people don't supposed to have any kind of criticism or it's considered hate. I always thought that was weird. That's weird as fuck when people say that shit. Criticism isn't hate. Like folks need to get that shit out of their head. Hating is when a nigga just deliberately downing somebody all the time about something or something that they're doing for no apparent reason. Now, if you're saying things that is true about that person or that thing, then that's not necessarily hate. It could just be the damn truth. Especially when more than one people, like a multitude of people, are saying the same thing. They not all hate. I think that's a bullshit tactic that people that's full of shit use to try to protect people that they like. And I'm not even talking about you in particular when I'm saying this. But I notice when they come to protecting people that they like, they use this same defense. Oh, you hating. You hating. You ain't nobody hating all the time, at least. So, some niggas do be just straight up hating. Like what Kane used to do to Tariq, that nigga was hating. What Janard do to Tommy, that nigga hating. But like when Ghost we used to criticize some of the shit Tommy doing. He ain't hating. He telling the nigga the truth. That is true. Definitely we did have a peaceful strangers. Never saying all is fair, but hey, congrats to them for getting the season renewed. I think I do recall. Is that on Stars? Because I think I do recall seeing Kim Kardashian in some show like once. I think probably once Power is over. You know how you let it keep running and they'll go to the next show. Tariq and Tommy coming taking over pool organizations and hoods is a little off. It would never go down easy like that in the hood. Well, according to them, the Power movie is gonna happen, so I guess we will. But anyways, though, that's all the time I got for this one. Good people, appreciate everybody that stopped through. I'm about to go ahead and close this stream out. Um, Probably go ahead and make some more individual videos to put out. So be on the lookout for that. Got a couple of them coming, and of course, the final predictions video as well will be probably dropping tomorrow. So stay tuned for all of that. Appreciate everybody so show the love and support, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.